Hi, it's Patrick from Brain Love Health. Today I'm going to go through in detail the ingredients that exist in our first product, Brain Love PM. Over the last 5 months since we introduced the product, we've gotten incredible comments from people about how positive the experience has been using our product. We have had some individuals that it hasn't worked for, but I'm going to discuss all the ingredients for you so you understand the science that went into the creation of Brain Love PM. There was a lot of science, over 20 years of research dedicated to looking for ways in which we might help the process of dementia that leads to Alzheimer's disease in your 70s and 80s. It actually starts in your 40s and 50s and goes over a 25-year period, which ultimately leads to the downward cascade of events you know as Alzheimer's disease. Let's talk about a few things to set the record. We know that in midlife, we have hormonal changes, and those hormonal changes are linked to the process of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. The books are out, the studies are out. It's a clear fact that the midlife changes that occur in your reproductive hormones, your testosterone, your estrogen, and other aspects of your hormones are changing the dynamic that ultimately leads to dementia. Fact 2, women get the disease twice as much as men. And again, we believe the root cause of that manifestation is related to the hormonal changes that occur at menopause. And fact 3, sleep is a significant risk factor for issues that relate to dementia in your 70s and 80s. So how do our products address these issues? Well, I want to emphasize that our focus is on the root cause always. Our focus is to look for ways in which we can balance out those changes that are occurring in midlife and then help to prevent them from causing the issues that lead to dementia in your 70s and 80s. So how do we do that? Well, my discussions always focus around what's occurring in midlife. What are the root causes that are driving these downward events? We always relate it back to something you've heard me talk about in many other presentations, the HPG axis, the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis. That process is beneficial for you when you're a fetus, as a child, as an adolescent, and through your reproductive years. But the very thing that was beneficial to you during that period has now become disrupted. And it's become disrupted because your sex hormones are no longer able to reproduce the way they used to. This then starts abnormal kinds of dysfunctions in your brain, in your body, that lead to the process of aging, including dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Now, when we created our product, Brain Love PM, that product was specifically designed to address many of the changes that are occurring in midlife. Now, let's talk about those symptoms that you experience in midlife, because I think it'll help you understand what ingredients went into the product. The first thing we know is we have trouble sleeping. We don't sleep the way we used to. We don't sleep like we did when we were a baby. We don't sleep like we did when we were in adolescent years. Things start to change. And they change drastically when you reach that 40 and 50-year-old period. We also know that you start to put on excess weight. Things you used to be able to do in your 20s and 30s, you can do the same things now, but guess what? You start to put on the excess pounds. We start to get that mid-drift bulge around our belly. Typically, it's our lower belly, and it's designed on some of the hormonal changes that are occurring. We have trouble sleeping. We put on weight. We have hot flashes. We have mood swings. We have other things that most people recognize that have changed in midlife. Now, that's going back to the changes that occur in the HPG axis. So Brain Love's approach is to find ways to balance out those changes and provide you with a better level of comfort, a better level of prevention that could potentially help stop the process from occurring. Brain Love PM, our first product, is made up of multiple things, and we specifically add ingredients in that product that are going to help you sleep better. Now, the reason we focused on sleep first is because it's one of the most significant risk factors towards leading up to dementia in your 70s and 80s. Poor sleep in your 40s, 50s, and 60s contributes, and the science is clear, to dementia process in your 60s and 70s. So we wanted to address one of the highest risk factors that we face by providing a product that will balance out the hormonal changes in the HPG axis, which will balance out the hormonal changes in the hypothalamic adrenal axis, which is related to the HPG axis, and these are what our ingredients are going to do. Now, I don't need to tell everyone what it's like not to be able to sleep, because it can become a downward spiral to exhaustive energy loss and so on. Not to mention the frustration of just laying awake thinking about all the things you have to think about, whether it be your job, your family, anything will come up during that process of just laying there trying to go to sleep. One of the things we know for a fact is that as you age, your melatonin goes down. Your melatonin goes down, it affects your circadian rhythms, it affects your ability to go to sleep. And so one of the first things we put in our product is melatonin. Now let's talk about melatonin, because people have heard about melatonin for many, many years. When you talk to people about melatonin, they're things like, oh, I tried it. It caused side effects. I felt groggy the next day. Oh, it made me feel anxious. It gave me slight depression. It's just not a product I like. One of the things I can tell you that we've learned about melatonin in our research, and again, our research goes back many, many years, is the proper dose of melatonin is essential. Too many people that try melatonin take too much melatonin. Now, when you go online and look up melatonin, you'll see various dosage forms. They go from 2 milligrams, 3 milligrams, 5 milligrams, and 10 milligrams. Unfortunately, most people think when it comes to natural ingredients that more is better. It's not like when you take a pharmaceutical, the doctor says take one every 6 hours or whatever the dosage might be. A lot of folks buy supplements and they take more than they should, more than they need. And that's very, very true of melatonin. When you take 5 million milligrams of melatonin, you're on the edge of too much. When you take 10 milligrams of melatonin, that's too much. Many people get a bottle of melatonin, says 5 milligrams. They think, oh, 1 might be good, 2 might be better. Let's take 3 because I'm really tired and I want to go to sleep. That's doing the direct opposite of what you're trying to do. When you overdose or take too much melatonin, you're biohacking the system and creating abnormalities that aren't helping you get to sleep. So I want to emphasize the proper dose of melatonin is key. And Brain Love Health puts 3 milligrams of melatonin in our product because it's been shown in studies and through our own interaction with our customers and the people we've done research with, that it's low enough to get the desired effect, but it's not too high to cause the side effects that melatonin is reportedly shown to have. So point 1. Point 2, we also put in an ingredient called ashwagandha. Ashwagandha has been shown for thousands of years through Chinese medicinal medicine to be helpful in relaxing you, in lowering inflammatory responses. It's an extremely popular drug ingredient these days, or herb, and it's an adaptogen. An adaptogen is something that is beneficial to your brain health as well as relaxing you overall. The ashwagandha will lower the cortisol that's also spiking as you age. I talk about melatonin going down in midlife. Cortisol is going up. That's again related to the disruption in the HPG axis. Those disruptions cause a decrease in melatonin, which makes it more difficult to sleep. It messes with your circadian rhythms. The increase in cortisol is now also messing with your wake-sleep cycle. Cortisol wakes you up. Melatonin helps you go to sleep. So melatonin's going down, cortisol's going up. Melatonin that we provide will help with that, and the ashwagandha will help keep the cortisol low, which will help you relax. What does that do from a sleep standpoint? It helps you get to sleep, but it also helps you stay asleep, which is key. How many times will you hear people saying, I can't get to sleep. Once I get to sleep, I wake up at 4 o'clock. I can't go to sleep. I stay up all night. That's a terrible thing. I've had it happen to me. I don't like waking up at 4 o'clock other than, it disrupts my whole day. So the melatonin will help. The ashwagandha will help. We also put an ingredient in called inositol. Inositol has been shown to balance out the hormonal changes that occur at midlife, in the changes of the HPG axis. Our target many times in our product is to not just find ways to make up for the lack of estrogen and testosterone, which is natural, but we also have another hormone called luteinizing hormone, and the melatonin and the inositol will lower the luteinizing hormone. Now, luteinizing hormone has been shown to be a significant contributing factor to the process of neuronal changes that occur and lead to dementia. So we want to keep the luteinizing hormone down. That's what the melatonin will do. That's what the inositol will do. The inositol will also balance out your glucose levels. It'll work with your glucose sensitivities, your insulin sensitivities, and keep that sugar spike from going up and down. Now, one of the issues you have to realize is your brain needs a lot of glucose. Your brain needs glucose to function. Your brain takes 25% of the energy that you expend on a daily basis to operate the way it's supposed to sufficiently. Your brain uses more glucose than any other organ in your body. So keeping your glucose levels balanced is so important. The other part of that equation is many parts of your brain when you're sleeping need to clean themselves. When you're in deep sleep, REM sleep, your brain dilates. Your cerebral spinal fluid is now washing out the debris of the day. So if you're not getting that good REM sleep, you're not cleaning your brain the way you should. Now, that's not going to hurt you one night or 2 nights a month, but if that's a consistent pattern you have, your brain cannot wash itself, clean itself, rid itself of the debris, and over time that debris gets accumulates, starts to cause other issues that make the brain dysfunctional. So consequently, you need to sleep. You also need the glucose balancing that inositol can provide. And then another ingredient we put in there is citicoline. One of the things we find in the elderly brain is they have a lack of acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter that allows your brain cells to interact more abundantly. So when you lack acetylcholine, your neurons can't communicate properly. So citicoline will provide you with the downward trend in acetylcholine and will help your neurons function better, send better signals, and keep your memory intact, but also at the same time help clean your brain while you sleep. And then the final ingredient we put in there, is camu-camu. Camu-camu is a super antioxidant. What do I mean by a super antioxidant? We've heard about free radical damage. Free radical damage attacks your cells, allows them not to work as efficient as they should from an energy perspective, and camu-camu will eliminate the free radical damage that's occurring in your brain. Camu-camu has 10 times the amount of antioxidant effects of, say, an orange, which is also very good, vitamin C. is an antioxidant. So camu camu is a berry from the jungles of the Amazon. It's the size of a cranberry, but it has superpowers when it comes to eliminating free radicals. These ingredients that I've just mentioned work synergistically with your body, work with your metabolism. It's not a biohack. We're not trying to throw an Ambien into you or a Lunesta into you and make you pass out because you've basically been hypnotized by the drug. That's not giving you the sleep you need. You need good natural sleep that allows your brain to wash itself and clean itself every day. When you do that, you're providing the foundation for brain health down the road. Keep in mind, poor sleep in your 40s, 50s, and 60s has been studied for years and is a 35% contributor to risk factors in dementia and Alzheimer's down the road. The main point I want to take away today, or give you today to take away, is that sleep is a significant contributor to dementia and Alzheimer's disease. You need proper sleep for proper brain function. Brain Love PM, our first product, which has now been on the market for 5 months, is getting rave reviews from the individuals that find that it helps them get to sleep, helps them stay asleep, helps them feel more energetic the next day. It's been shown to reduce hot flashes in many people, and it just is a super product, first in its class, to treat the problems of sleep, but at the same time provide you with the hormonal balance, which will counteract the effects of the dysregulation of the HPG axis when you go through menopause and andropause. Now let's talk about a couple other things. As I mentioned, this has been on the market 5 months. We get very solid rave reviews. Most of the people that try our product give us 5-star reviews. We have had some people that didn't like the product, that didn't work for them. And we understand that. Not every product works for everybody. There's complicating issues that we can't really understand all the variables that come into play. But in general, the overall response to our product has been extremely positive. With that in mind, we are now offering a 100% satisfaction guaranteed for anyone that tries our product for the first time. So if you try Brain Love PM the first time and you aren't 100% satisfied that it's providing you with the kind of rest and relaxation and better sleep that I've discussed, you can return it and we will give you a 100% money back guarantee on that fact. We're so confident that you will like the product. We're so confident that you will sleep better. We're so confident that we'll make your day better after you've had a good night's sleep that we will make that offer today. So please try our product. You have nothing to lose. It's risk-free. You can try our product, and once you've tried it, you can then sign up for a subscription and get it to yourself on a monthly basis, which many of our customers do. And I can just assure you that you will like the product, and I'm asking you today to give it a try. And also understand that if you have any questions whatsoever about Brain Love Health and our mission, about Brain Love PM and the product and how it works and anything that might come to mind, we're here to help. This is what we do every single day. We're passionate about keeping your brain healthy, and we know from over 20 years of research that there's nothing on the market or coming down the pharmaceutical pipeline that is able to treat Alzheimer's disease and dementia once you have the symptoms. This is a prevention issue. You must take steps in your 40s, 50s, and 60s to get better nutrients, to get better exercise, and to get better sleep in order to prevent the problem downstream. Thank you very much for listening. I'll see you next time on Brain Love Health YouTube channel. Good day.